Now, as Israel continues to strike targets in Iran, hitting nuclear facilities that pose a threat to the entire Western world, there's a narrative emerging from Iran's allies like Russia and China that this violates international law. But is that the case? What is the legality of Israel's surprise attack? To answer that and more, we are joined now by legal expert and political analyst Daniel Pomerantz, the CEO of Reality Check. Daniel, great to have you with us as always, especially during these uncertain times. When it comes to this legal argument that some are presenting against Israel, it's not only being spewed by Iran and its allies, also the International Commission of Jurists. What is the significance of this? What is the argument they're trying to make?
Well, you know, it's exactly what Iran's proxies did and what Iran's doing now. They see that they can't defeat the IDF on the battlefield, so they want to try and defeat Israel off the battlefield to get Israel to be forced to stop its actions. Well, the argument that they're making here is that under international law, under the principles of the United Nations, you're never supposed to start a war. You can respond in self-defense if someone attacks you. So they're saying this isn't self-defense. Israel attacked Iran. It's obvious. There was nothing going on. Then Israel attacked. But of course, that's not true. And it's not true for two reasons. One is that under Article 51 of the UN Charter, a country has an inviolate right, an absolute right to self-defense. And in this case, well, they'll say, but you're not defending yourself, you're attacking. Well, Iran has been attacking Israel for years, but especially for the last 19 months since October 7th, both directly and through its proxies. Over 30,000 rockets directly and through its proxies, including directly from Iran, the largest ballistic missile strike in the history of the world. That was a year ago. In addition to that, there's also something called the Caroline Doctrine, which says that if an attack is imminent, if it is urgent and there is no other choice, then you can respond even before the physical attack starts. That's a kind of proactive self-defense. And in this case, all of those factors are met. Just hours before Israel launched its operation, the IAEA, that's the International Atomic Energy Agency, announced that Iran was in violation of the NPT, that's the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. In other words, that's a statement by a UN body in charge of inspecting nuclear facilities that Iran is going nuclear. In addition to that, Israel had intelligence that Iran was getting ready to go nuclear. And in addition to that, Iran for years has never been shy about saying that one of its goals as a nation is to annihilate Israel and, of course, the United States as well.
The evidence, it seems, was clearly there. So is there anywhere that these claims could legally go then? Anything that could actually impact Israel's ability to attack Iran?
Well, something I've always said since I was practicing law is that there's a difference between law and reality. I would always say that to my clients. I'd say, could I sue this person? I'd say, you can, but you won't because it won't work. In this case, if you got enough people in the right places, in the right courts, that wanted to take the position that Israel's violating international law, they might say, well, technically Israel struck first and Israel wasn't under attack. But of course, that's not the case. The power of most international courts is that ultimately they're able to bring actions at the UN Security Council. But right now we have a president of the United States who would likely veto a resolution like that. And in addition to that, if countries independently try to put embargoes against Israel, they're going to face pressure from the United States, and also they're going to be helping Iran. And a lot of the intelligence that we have shows that secretly behind the scenes, a lot of the countries who are opposing this actually are kind of happy that it's happening.
All right, Daniel Pomerantz, the CEO of Reality Check, giving us that legal analysis of what is happening right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole.